question. What's something that you'd really like to do in Paris for the first time? That is essentially the question that I asked all of my friends, all 13 of them, to come up with the bucket list 2022 for the Earful Tower. If you've been around for a while listening, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I do this every year. If you're brand new, I'll give you the 10-second summary. You list 5 things that you really want to do in Paris in 2022 that you've never done before, and then you try and do them. It's an excuse to explore the city, and it works if you're a tourist, if you're a long-time resident, and it also works as a way to spend more time with your friends doing cool stuff. So in today's episode, I have my friend Shelly, an art consultant who's been in Paris for about 7 years. She is the reigning champion of the Earful Tower Bucket List. In fact, she's the only person to ever complete her whole list, and she did it about 3 years ago now. So she's the expert. Even though this is my thing, she is the expert. And I got her on to talk over her list, to explain the things that someone who's been in Paris, like she has for 7 years, what she wants to do still in the city. We go through my list. They're quite different, both of our lists. But then we also go through the list of some of my friends, some of whom are French. They've lived here their whole life. Some of whom have been here only a year. The idea for you guys at home is hopefully you'll be inspired to find some new things in Paris. All of it is going to be on the website, theearfultower.com. The other thing is, if you can't make it to Paris this year, you can do a little bit of dreaming. You can, plan your next trip. You can think of some of the cool things that are here to do that we talk about. Or, and I highly encourage this as well, you can write a bucket list for your own city. Maybe you live in the middle of Tasmania in a town with a population of 600. You can do a list too. I'm sure there's 5 things to find there. Write a comment on my social media with your own list. But first, take a listen to me and Shelly talking through our own. Before we get started, a massive thanks to the Patreon supporters, the people who like the Earful Tower so much that they've become a member to support it and unlock a world of benefits, including last week I did a live, it wasn't really a walk show, a live walkthrough of an artist studio in the 6th arrondissement with views over Saint-Sulpice and more. It was Alex Hilkert's. I'm sure if you check me out on social media, you'll find pictures, but you can watch the replay of that by signing up on patreon.com/theearfultower. And upon sign up, you get my guide to Paris for 2022 with lots more ideas. Now I'm going to take you to Shelly's place where we recorded this episode. Sit back, relax, enjoy a bit of Paris dreaming, and I'll see you on the other side to read out some fun emails that I got this week. Let's get into it. Shelly.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
To your living room. How you doing? You are an art consultant in Paris. We've known each other a long time.
We have.
You're the reigning champion of the Paris bucket list Earful Tower trademark.
This may be the only thing I've ever been a reigning champion of.
Is that true?
Yes. Well, I'm very proud.
Don't get comfortable because there's no chance you're winning it this year.
You may underestimate how competitive I am.
No, I actually do know that you're competitive, but that's part of the reason I wanted you on the show. And what I figured we're going to do is I want to get into your list and my list, and we can sort of, assuming you're the expert on this.
Expert. Oh, now I'm not only a reigning champion, but also an expert. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'll hear your opinion on other people's lists.
Okay.
We have access to them.
Yes.
And you can sort of pass judgment on who you think will come runner-up to you this year, based on their list, right?
Yeah.
But first, genuine question.
Yes.
What do you think about this Earful Tower Bucket List challenge?
What do I think? Okay. So, last time, for those who don't know, should we do those for those who don't know?
What, the rules or what happened last time?
Yeah, what happened last time around. We've done this once before.
Yeah, and it wasn't last year either, was it?
No.
Was it
pre-COVID times?
Yeah, so it was 2019?
2019.
Really? Okay. So 2019 was the first time we really went for it.
Yeah. It was before everything shut down, so yeah.
And you got through the list. I think you're the only person that got through the list.
I was the only person, I think, to finish my whole list. Yeah. But I remember, so for those who don't know, Oliver pitched this idea to our group of friends. And I think it started because the Notre Dame caught on fire, right?
That's exactly right. Wow, yeah. Good memory. So yeah, okay. You've reminded me. I'll tell my story.
Yes.
Because I'd always wanted to go to the top of Notre Dame.
Exactly.
And I was like, it'll be there. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And suddenly, tragically, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I sat down and I was like, what else is there in Paris that I'd like to do? You can't, like, a lot of Parisians are like, I'll climb the Eiffel Tower one day. They never do. A lot of Parisians, I mean, heaps of people here.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. And so a bunch of us, I don't know how many of us.
There were quite a few people in the last round. I don't remember how many people joined.
But this year's a record.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a lot more this year. It's going viral.
Amazing.
But so we sat down and we all put down things. Rules are they get more difficult to do. They start off easy, and the last one should be something quite hard to do.
Yeah. Yeah, so you sent around this idea to our group of friends and was like, hey, I really wanted to climb the Notre Dame. It caught on fire. Now I can't. So I came up with this idea to make this bucket list. What are 5 things in Paris I really want to do? And wanted us all to do this challenge.
Does everyone think I'm a little bit annoying? You can tell me.
No.
A little bit?
No.
Okay, good.
It's good. You got to have somebody in the group that keeps things interesting.
That's what I think, exactly. But I'm a bit pushy with it.
You're a little pushy. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. You know, it's like, I think we meet in the middle. So it's like everyone is a willing participant. And you also are a little pushy, but it's okay.
Yeah, you can be a little pushy.
But yeah, so last time, I mean, I think there was part of me that was like, this is silly, but also part of me was like, it's a competition. Yeah. Yes, I'll play. Yeah. Which I also think is part of our group of friends.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't quite sure. I don't think I realized how much I would enjoy it last time, honestly. I really enjoyed it. And
there's a famous story as well. I think it was your number 5 item, was the opera, is that right?
I don't know if it was my number 5, but it was definitely one of them. So,
and the idea, everyone at home, the idea is also, and I think you said this as well, but people have emailed me in to say, love the bucket list. I didn't invent bucket lists, but the idea of getting friends together to visit your own city, I've got people from around the world doing the same thing.
I had the same, yeah. One of my friends in New York messaged me and said, this is actually, because I posted something about it, online, and she said, this is actually a really cool idea. I'm going to do this in New York because, I mean, we all do that. You don't go do things where you are because you're always busy just, buying dish soap or dealing with life. So you don't go to the museum where you are because you only do those things, take the time to do those things when you travel. But then you miss out on the things where you are.
Exactly. And the idea of getting your friends together is that when someone goes, hey guys, I'm going to go to the opera on Saturday night. Does anyone want to come? It's an excuse to do something fun rather than going to the same bar.
Which is exactly what happened. Yeah.
And how did that go down?
It was hysterical. So one of the things on my bucket list last time was to go to an opera at the Palais Garnier, which is the big opera house in Paris in the center of the city, at opera. And so I sent a message to the group, which is part of the rules. You have to let everyone know you're going to do something, and said,
especially the big ones.
The big ones. And I was like, hey guys, I'm going to go to the opera. Here are the days that I'm looking at going. Is anyone free? Do you want to go? And so 6 of us went.
Yeah.
The opera was...
I didn't go.
You did not go.
I heard it was in German.
It was in German. It was King Lear.
Was it?
We were like in the very, very, very top nosebleed, like tiny section. And it was like so bad that it was hysterical because it was just a very weird, depressing opera.
King Lear would be hard in English opera.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, this was a mistake I made. So you want to talk about strategy of the bucket list. A mistake I made last time.
Yeah.
Choosing things that require tickets and dates. Challenging if you want to win.
Why?
Because you only have so many days that you can pick.
Oh, yeah, because you had PSG tickets.
Exactly.
And the season was almost over.
Yeah, there were only 2 games left, and they were like Champions League games.
That's right.
And I didn't realize when the soccer season was, so whoops.
We've talked enough about the last bucket list.
Yes.
I want to get into the new one, and
Let's do it.
I've got a huge surprise.
Oh, God.
It's not that. But the last time we did this, the Earful Tower was young.
Yes.
Now the Earful Tower has a budget.
Ooh.
So
am I about to find out what the prize is?
No, you're going to hear what I spent today's budget on. I printed out the list. So
oh, man.
The budget is small. But this way we can go over it a little bit together.
Let's do it.
Did you think I was going to buy
I don't know. I thought you were about to be like, and if you complete the bucket list, you get a new car.
It does say at the top, prize for winning, unknown but good.
Yes. Which is important. And actually, the mystery maybe adds to some of the value,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone at home, you guys can join in on this. It'll be hard to get on our list. But even if you're just visiting for a month, take the idea. 5 things to do, getting progressively more difficult, starting really easy. So I want to go through yours one by one, Shelly.
Okay.
And then we'll go through mine. How about that?
Let's do it.
So the first one, the easy one, visit Als Saint-Pierre.
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
It's, so I just moved to Montmartre, which is fun in a neighborhood I haven't lived in.
We would have been neighbors if you had to move there.
I know.
Yeah.
Fail. So much fail.
Yeah.
And so the House Saint-Pierre is just around the corner from where I live now. I think somewhere it's in the neighborhood. And
is it the bookshop?
It's not far. Yeah, and that's the true confession is I saw it first like on Instagram or something. And it looks like a really cool bookshop, but it's actually kind of like an outsider art museum that has a super cool bookshop. Okay. And so, yeah, I'm hoping to do it this weekend.
That is an easy one.
I'm going to do it this weekend, I hope. Yeah.
Hang on.
Watch out. Watch out.
That's before this podcast will even come out. That's going to be cheating. So you just basically got to walk into a free shop for number one. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Sam, who's also on this list. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people.
Oh my gosh, there are
involved.
a lot on this list. Yeah.
It's popular.
Yeah.
14 as well.
It's the cool
Clovis
thing to do in Paris this year.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Check out a book from the American Library. Oh, so are you a member?
So I have been recently gifted a membership.
Gifted a membership?
Which is something that I have wanted for a really long time. I wanted to join for a really long time.
Nice
and
gift.
I have actually never been there. I'm an American. I live in Paris, and I've never been to the American Library. I did get a library card for Paris libraries. But I've never been to the American Library.
This sounds like a really easy one for you to do.
I have to go there and do it, which I haven't done. It's why it's only number 2.
Yeah, they're friends of the show. For you guys at home, if you want to see, I looked it up the other day randomly. 3 events there.
Whoa.
In the last 13 months. All
That's
the books.
amazing.
Yeah, Celeste in the children's book department. Lovely.
Yeah.
Really nice. We've done readings for kids and stuff.
I've never been there.
It's really cool.
I've lived here for 7 years. I'm an American and I've never been to and I'm a nerd and I've never been to the American Library. So I figured it was about time.
You're gonna love it. It's right by the Eiffel Tower as well.
Yeah.
It's right by that beautiful door on Avenue Rap. Do you know that one?
I feel like I do know what you're talking about, actually. Yeah. And
I'll have to give you the tour of the 7th.
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay.
It can be my payment for doing this podcast.
Okay. Number 3. Finally, in brackets, go to the Picasso Museum. Shelly, these are so easy.
That one's fine. They're easy, but they still take time. They're not that easy. It still has to take time. It's not any easier than some other people's.
No, I'm just teasing. But the Picasso Museum.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
I wanted to go there. So I came to Paris, I think 2 or 3 times. 2 times maybe, or 3 times before I moved here. And I wanted to go to the Picasso Museum. But the first time that I came to Paris, I think was the year that it closed. Or maybe it was the year I moved here. Anyway, I've always wanted to go and I've never been able to go. It was closed for like 5 years.
It's your white whale.
Yeah, it was closed for like 5 years for renovation. And it's been open and I still haven't gone. So
I interviewed the curator of this museum.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, it was really cool. You'd like that episode.
Cool.
So
I
the
didn't hear that one.
People who want to go back and look for it, it was when I was going through all the arrondissements in order.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And for the 3rd, I guess it was, I interviewed her about the museum. And I asked her, I said, I remember this well. I was like, if the museum was burning, I shouldn't say that after we just talked about Notre Dame.
But still, we're talking about bucket list. Fine. If it was burning.
Fine,
okay.
Fine. What would be the piece that you'd grab?
What did she say?
And she said, it's called Self-Portrait and it's blue.
Okay, yeah.
And I think he's like looking quite sad.
Yeah.
Got a beard. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
So see if you can find that one.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, there's I think an exhibit on right now where they're doing a collaboration with the Rodin Museum.
Yes.
So I keep saying I want to go see it. So
that's cool that you put that on the list because I told everyone to try and put something that was a little bit happening.
There you go.
I didn't on mine.
I'm so happening.
Okay.
Look at me go.
Number 4, have drinks at the bar Hemingway in brackets, the Ritz.
It's at the Ritz, yeah.
Yep.
It's apparently quite hard to go to. Have you been?
That's right after I...
Which one? Is that what you
proposed to Lena? We went.
Oh, that's where you went.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
There's only like 25 seats, no?
Yeah, but
it's quite small.
If you go on a weekday or something, I think you're
okay.
right. I seem to remember.
That's right. Give me tips.
Yeah, you should go on Saturday, 9 p.m. No,
I'm gonna destroy you.
I think I've been there a couple of times, and one of the times I went there with Claudine Hemingway, who is a descendant of Hemingway.
You're far cooler than me.
We did. I just want to beat you in something. And there was a crowd out the front, and then they let you in, and everyone goes in at once. But it's not that hard to get into. But it's not cheap for drinks.
I know it's not cheap, but I also I mean it's supposed to be a pretty historic place, and I've also heard that apparently even in World War II,
Yep.
Hemingway was there with like a machine gun defending it.
That is one of the weirdest stories.
Is this a true story?
Yeah, he apparently liberated the Ritz.
There you go.
I haven't researched this before we talk now, but like the story, I
don't know if it's real, but I feel like it's worth a drink.
I read about it, and he came back like as Paris was being liberated and ran around with a gun.
Yeah.
And apparently he shot at like a fluttering sheet in the attic.
Okay.
And that's how much liberating he did.
All right. Well, anyway, I figure it's worth going for drinks.
I think so. It's a really good one.
And
that's a good one.
I wanted to put a fancy place on there,
It's good. I did the same thing.
Treat yourself style.
Number 5, find/try cheese from all of the MOF fromagerie in Paris. Lena, my wife, looked at this and thought that MOF was a shortcut for a swear word. So she thought you wrote find cheese from all the mother beeping fromageries. Is that what it means?
No, it's not.
Hang on, find cheese from all of the... Okay, so explain to me and the people.
MOF, M-O-F, stands for Meilleur Ouvrier de France. And I love cheese, is the other disclaimer there. Mm-hmm. But so basically, it's like every 4 years, I think, 3 or 4 years, in something like 200 different categories. But obviously, the most prestigious one, maybe not obviously, but the most prestigious ones in France are like the gastronomy ones, so food. There's a competition called Meilleur Ouvrier de France. And
say it slower.
Meilleur, which is best. Yeah. Ouvrier, so like craftsman.
Yeah.
De France.
Yeah, okay.
And they're in all different categories. So there's like pastry, cheese, bread making, all those things. And the different people have to enter themselves in the competition. And they basically just get put through like the gauntlet of being like the absolute best in their profession. So... Right. For example, I first learned about it. I saw this documentary called Kings of Pastry, which is kind of hard to find, but quite good if anyone wants to find it. And they basically they kind of like lock all these chefs in a kitchen for like 3 days and just make them make all this crazy stuff. And they have to then at the end carry this like massive sugar sculpture and all of these things. And they're like exhausted to this table. And then if the jury of like 40 judges or something decides that they're worthy, they get to be a Meilleur Ouvrier de France. And it's a title that you keep for life. And they're the only chefs who are allowed to wear the red, white, and blue, the tricolor collar.
Right.
And if you impersonate one, for example, if you say you're one and you're not, you can go to jail, apparently.
That doesn't surprise me. And I think you can see the MOF in the window of the...
Yeah, they would always... Usually they have it like, plastered all over the outside of their...
So let me get this straight. You want to find cheese from all of the
All
MOF.
of them in Paris.
How many are there?
So I've done a little bit of research, and
it better be at least like 16.
This is the challenge is that it's kind of hard to find all the information on the list.
Okay.
So far, I've found like 10, 8 or 10.
Okay, all right, 10, 8 or 10 or 8.
Somewhere in there. I'm like counting because then it's like some of them have shops in different areas.
So you essentially have to go to about 10 places.
I need to figure out who all of them are.
Yeah, and you need to publish that, and we need to share that on like an Instagram story or something
I can give you a review of them. But
okay, that's tough.
I know where one is so far, but I don't know the rest. And it's cool because I've also, like, in doing it, I've learned a lot about the MOF competition, actually. I think there have only ever been 2 women Meilleur Ouvrier de France, and one of them is a cheesemaker in Paris.
Okay, well, we'll have to hear more about her cheese. If you manage to do all of the 10, maybe you can give us your notes.
Give you a ranking.
And I'll share it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'm happy to do it. And part of the reason this one is on here is that, like, during the last year when everything in Paris was closed, I sort of decided that it would make it my mission to learn about cheese and wine. Good. I figure, like, living in Paris, I should do that.
You're from North Carolina.
I am.
Is there much cheese and wine going on over there?
No. Not really. Well, I mean, I feel like I'm doing some people a disservice by saying no, because I'm sure there's good cheese and wine, but it is definitely not the highlight.
We'll get emails.
We're more barbecue people.
Let's go to my list.
Let's talk about your list.
My list, Paris Bucket List 2022. Number 1, get inside the Sainte-Geneviève Library.
All right. Now, you've written this like it's hard.
Yeah, no, it's number 1.
So I know, but so it should be easy.
Get inside?
You wrote "get inside," but I also did a little research, and I think it's open to the public, isn't it?
Maybe, but I went there. If it's the one that I think it is, look. I didn't complete any of my bucket lists. Full disclosure, I did this last year, but just with Lena because it was too hard to get
pandemic.
Yep. Didn't complete that one either.
Yeah.
So I never have completed them. I tried to make it a bit easier on myself because obviously I'm doing. My job is exploring Paris.
Yeah.
If I can't. So anyway, if this is the one that I think it is, it's extremely beautiful. I think it's by Sorbonne.
It looks really cool from what I looked. I stalked your list. I looked it up.
Okay. You've probably researched it better than I have. But it's a really beautiful library, and I tried to get in there once, and like I just waltzed in, and they're like, no, you need
you have to be a member or something.
Need something. So it could actually be harder.
Okay.
But the first one's meant to be easy.
Okay. We both have libraries on our list.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll come to your library.
Okay. Yeah, like tradesies.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to come to yours. Although
okay,
I think Lena wanted to put your library too, but she changed it last minute.
Okay.
Number 2. Visit the Musée des Arts.
I have always wanted to go here, but I would not call it a clown museum as you have here.
I just put that in brackets. Isn't it? It's like fairgrounds and...
Yeah, it's like fairgrounds and carousels and like things like that.
I just put clown museum because...
I've always wanted to go.
You can come to that as well if you want.
I want to go.
I put that because I think a lot of people, they just see French words and wouldn't know what I was talking about.
It looks really cool. And I think as well there's... So the backstory, very quick backstory is that like my family used to have an amusement park.
I just remembered that.
So I've always wanted to go.
Like your great grandfather invent the
they were like didn't invent it, but there was a master carver of carousel horses. Yeah, and the other one built roller coasters. So I was like, I have to go here
because I've been really weirdly. I've been to your house.
In North Carolina
when you weren't there.
When I was not there.
When Lena and I, some people I think maybe know the story that Lena and I drove across America.
Yeah,
and we stopped in North Carolina, and there was what was it?
There are merry-go-round horses. Yeah, there are 2 of them in the house.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that, but that's cool.
Anyway, so I want to go there. Yeah.
The only thing, the reason that is a bit hard is it's in the 12th arrondissement, which no one goes there.
Yeah, there's supposedly a really cool for anyone who's interested, because don't ask me how I came across this, but there's apparently a really cool event space in there you can rent out that looks kind of like this big circus tent
because you see it on people's Instagram.
I saw it on the Instagram or something. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
So that's kind of hard. That should be a 3, I think, not a 2.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Number 3, cocktail at the Shangri-La Hotel.
Why the Shangri-La?
Because I wanted to do a nice cocktail in a nice bar, and I went on Google and I said best hotel bars in Paris, and there was like an article from Vogue or something, and I'd been to most of them.
Yeah.
Because I've had them in past bucket list. I've done stories about them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I try and meet people in it.
It must be getting hard for you to think of like things to put on your list.
I don't know. Shangri-La. Have you been there?
I haven't.
It's
Maybe I'll do all of the things on your bucket list.
Why not? That's the point. Number 4 is a good one.
Number 4 is a really good one.
Play chess with a stranger in Luxembourg Gardens.
Are you really good at chess?
No, I play it. During the lockdown, I started to play it because I realized I had a really short attention span.
Yeah.
And I figured playing chess would
help
draw
improve
it out.
Yeah.
So I played it online. I learned how to play it like properly and got good at it. Good enough.
Yeah.
But the problem is I always play speed chess. Which when you're trying to...
Doesn't help your attention.
No, it's so stupid. But I'm good enough.
I should mail you another puzzle.
I would, yeah. But I wouldn't get that Shelly mailed us a puzzle during lockdown.
I did.
And we did it like 40 times.
You did. You made a challenge to do it as fast as you could. Which is, again, you got a problem.
But once, I feel like I could hold my own in Luxembourg Gardens. I'd probably lose.
So how does it work? Do you just sit there with a chess set and wait for somebody to show up and challenge you? Or what does that do?
No, you could do that, but there are a lot of people that are there playing. The tables have chessboards painted on them. And once, because I've wanted to do this for ages, but it takes a bit of courage for me anyway. It's a bit like when I first went to play basketball in Paris.
Well, yeah.
You have to have the nerve to walk up and say, can I play? And one day I saw a guy sitting there waiting, and I plucked up the courage and I walked forward and I was like, hello, how does this work? And as I'm talking, this 8-year-old little precocious girl ran up and go, oh, I thought it was my turn. And I was like, okay. And she sat down. And I was so close.
So close. So did you speak French or English?
French. Everything was French. But good also, practice. I don't know the words for... I don't know any of the pieces in French. You don't need the language anyway. But that's a good one. And if I do it, I'd love to have someone take a nice picture of it too.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be an iconic moment for me.
That's cool.
And number 5, dine at Le Train Bleu restaurant.
I have heard of this place. I've heard
also
it's really
in the
cool.
12th. Why have I put another one in the 12th?
Because you never go to the 12th.
Have you seen the movie Nikita?
I haven't.
There's a cool scene, I won't spoil anything, but a very sort of pivotal moment in the movie happens in that restaurant.
It's a pretty iconic looking place. I've seen photos of it.
It's really beautiful.
It's really beautiful. I've heard the food's good too.
Yeah, okay.
Because sometimes, that doesn't line up, but...
I was going to have dinner there I think it's expensive.
So you made it. I actually noticed that you did that. Yeah.
Yeah. Lunch, I feel, because it's number 5, lunch would be a cop-out.
I see you getting a little strategic.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of my list?
You could dine. You could like get a croissant there and a coffee.
I think I'll have dinner. I'll make it a special occasion, as long as it's not crazy expensive. But it's for the people who've never heard of it. It's it's in the Gare de Lyon.
Yeah.
And it's like, it kind of looks like a room from Versailles.
It's amazing.
Stunning,
yeah, it's like very
beautiful.
decorated and gilded and
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like your list. I think it's good. Because I think the thing about the list, though, is like, yeah, fine, you want some of them to be things that are more challenging. But you also, like, the point is to put... Because I struggled with it a little bit when I was making my list because I started trying to come up with all these crazy ideas that would be hard or bizarre. And I was like, actually, the point is just to put down things you want to do.
Exactly. One of the main points was, it's like so many times, especially in Paris, you hear of a coffee shop that's on the other side of town. You're like, I should go there. And you just never go. So that's a whole big part of it. And now everything's got tick boxes, and we've got a few minutes left.
Okay.
So let's look through some of the other ones. I was particularly impressed. Why don't we scan through it?
Yeah.
Anne Law included pictures.
Yes, she did.
And I think that's
I want to know where she's going to get that kind of out. You guys can't see it who are listening, but it's a pretty... It's a pretty out there outfit.
She's written, go to the, is it Munch? Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah. Go to the Munch exhibit at the Musée d'Orsay wearing a Munchian outfit.
It's basically like a gown with the scream on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she serious?
Which is
at
the whole
number
thing.
4? That's her number 4.
I know.
She's French, so we can respect this list. It's very...
Respect the list.
And we can't go through all of them.
We have a few people who are in pursuit of the best Paris-Brest.
Yeah, including Anne Law.
Yeah.
But the Munch is the one that I think we're going to need pictures of if it happens. Lena's is the next one.
Yep.
Baked potato at Caspia stands out to me.
Yeah, apparently that's a thing, I guess.
I don't know anything about it.
I don't know anything about it either.
Fancy, it's number 4.
I liked her number 3, the Hire Sailboat in Luxembourg Gardens.
And then I noticed,
kind of always wanted to do that.
I got a question for you. It'll challenge your intelligence.
Okay.
And everyone at home. So give everyone a chance at home to answer to.
In which you thought I was a winner, now I fail. Tell me.
Only children get this right. That's a clue, right?
Okay.
And everyone at home, yell it out. You can impress the person in the car next to you, maybe. In the Luxembourg Gardens, Lena's referring to the sailboats that the children rent. They have flags on them.
Yeah.
Right? And I think they may be
come
electric.
with like a stick.
Yeah, you poke
them. Like poke it back in the water, and I guess
I think there's a little motor in it, but you
there?
poke it to send it straight. Otherwise, they might just get stuck in the middle, right?
That's what I always thought.
So I went there and I looked at all these countries' flags, and I was like, "Oh, isn't it beautiful?" I saw Australia there, I saw America there, France, and I said to the woman working there, "I'm curious which boat is the most commonly rented? Like, what do the kids choose the most?" So before Shelly guesses, everyone at home have a guess. When she told me the answer, I was like, oh, yeah. Shelly, what would you like to guess?
My guess would be Wales because it has a dragon on it.
You're on the right track, but you're wrong.
Yeah?
It's the pirate flag.
Oh, there's a pirate one. That was a trick question.
It was a trick question. But I've asked that to kids before, and they always get it. They're like, the pirate flag.
But you said country flags.
I know, I threw you off. I didn't say they were only country flags. Fail.
Fine, I would pick one with dragon on it.
Do you notice that Lena also put play tennis at Luxembourg Gardens?
I did. Are you guys going to have a whole day of like playing tennis, challenging people at games in Luxembourg Gardens?
Tennis, chess, and sailing.
Yeah,
that could
apparently.
Be quite there's your list there.
There's my
at the
list.
Top.
Yep.
Then we've got Nat. Which is your beau.
Nat is my beau.
A fellow American.
A fellow American in Paris.
And I don't want to get into your private life here at all, and I won't.
Okay.
But he hasn't been in Paris nearly as long as you, so his list is quite different to yours.
I've been here, well, we can get this much in it. I've been here now 7 years, and he's been here almost, I guess, year and a half, so? Something like that?
Except his list is kind of, I feel like you must have helped him a bit with it. Because these are like some inside baseball things here. No?
I don't think so.
Well, like...
I can help explain some of them.
No, but I mean, number 1.
Yes.
He wants to get mustard from the... Is it Maille?
Maille, I guess that's how you say it.
Yeah.
But you know that brand, right? It's the mustard.
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, this one I
Where
maybe...
is the shop?
To be fair, this one I maybe helped with a little bit. Because we've been talking about going there a lot.
Because new people often put climb the Eiffel Tower.
But it's a really cool thing to do in Paris.
No, it sounds really cool.
So it's actually just across from... It's just at Madeleine. Yep. Like in the place, almost like just in front of the church. If you're standing in front of the church, just like to the left.
Okay.
And it's a really cool shop. So it's only mustard, and they actually have the mustard on tap.
On tap?
Yeah, like beer taps. Yeah, and you can try all the different ones. They have like champagne flavored mustard and like all kinds of things. One. and they'll fill you up a little ceramic crock of mustard and cork it. And I came and did it when I visited Paris, and it was so much fun.
See, now I know that you recommended it.
No, but we keep trying. We've tried a few different kinds of mustards, and I said like recently, oh, we should go to the shop and like try their mustards. And we were also looking at going to Dijon. And so we were talking about mustard, and so we're not obsessed with mustard.
It's all right to help with the list. It's encouraged, actually.
So that's where that came from.
We'll skim here. Josephine Baker at the Panthéon. Yep. Buy a knife from E.
Delarin.
Whoa.
Yeah. So do you know about this place?
No, but when I hear of knives, there's the famous, the other French knife that a lot of people talk about.
I don't know.
It begins with a vowel. Oh, I can't remember it.
I can't remember. Opinel.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people talk about that.
Yeah. So this is a cookware shop where I think is like the famed place where Julia Child used to buy like all of her cookware. Mm-hmm. And the story there is he's been gifted a few knives from there by other people, but has not bought one for himself. And so we've been talking about buying a new chef knife or something like that. He's really into cooking. And so I was like, I'm going to go buy one for myself.
That's a good one.
And it's also like the guys who work there can be a little grumpy, and it's like there's a lot of really amazing cookware in there, so it can be like mildly. It's a very cool place. Highly recommend it to anyone visiting.
We will be putting all these. Yeah. What I'm going to do, guys, at home is I'm going to put. I'm not going to put everybody's list because some of them are a bit silly, I think. But I'm going to take the best of and do a list that's going to be sort of the official bucket list. He also has visit all of Paris's passages. That's a big one.
The passage.
That's like 12.
I know. Passage. He has a book on all of them and decided that was going to be the mission.
And then go to the French Open. That's a good one.
We tried to go last year and couldn't get tickets. So
me too.
Yeah.
He's got a good list. He could be a contender, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You can knock out 3 in one day on that list.
I'm going to
slow him down.
Compete with my
Sam,
my other half.
Sam, who added the little boxes that we can tick, which is great.
Thank you, Sam.
He also put 6 things there.
He's an overachiever.
But the ones, like, some of them are...
So wait, does he win if he completes 5 or 6?
He has to do 6. Sam's been on the show before, actually, talking about how he got French citizenship. He's a character.
He is a character.
And some of the character
and a
ones
wonderful
here,
human.
Rent a fancy boat on the Seine.
That's a good one.
He has his captain's license, so we should all get in on that one.
Yes.
Dress up in very fancy clothes and take the tourist train around Montmartre with a bottle of champagne and a straw.
You should film that one.
That's a good one.
I think that would go. That's amazing.
Hey, you know the tourist train he's talking about?
What tourist train?
It's the white... maybe you haven't seen it.
I haven't.
Maybe it's a summer thing. It goes around...
Oh, the like things that would be like an amusement park with kids on them?
Yeah, except...
Oh, my life. Can we please all do that one with Sam?
Here's something. When you live there, when you see it now in the summer...
Yeah.
I've never seen a happy person on it. They always look like really... bored and upset.
This one reminds me of yours from the last one. Didn't you on the last bucket list you had take the canal Canorama like boat tour? And we did it for your birthday. That's we all went.
Yep.
And Sam was like in a ridiculous outfit with a giant umbrella.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, that's right.
That's amazing.
And then we went to the Little Red Door.
Yep.
Because it was my birthday.
Which was also on your list.
And then we went to the épicière speakeasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I mentioned that on a recent episode.
On to
Ben.
Ben. Ben's got some tough ones.
He's an athlete.
Yes.
Ride to Giverny.
Giverny was on my list, but I did not last time. But I did not cycle there.
That's a long ride.
Yeah.
I scooted there on the honeymoon, and it took days.
Days?
Yeah.
Days.
3 days. Yeah.
Wait, how long of a ride is that then?
I don't even want to know.
Okay.
He also wants to go to a fashion show. He wants to play ball or shoot some hoops. What's the difference?
I think that's the same thing.
At the American Church. That's cool. I've seen that court.
He's got to have some hookups, Ben.
Yeah, but look at number 5, backstage pass to Coldplay.
I feel like this is rigged. This one is rigged.
That one's definitely rigged. Except the visit the gendarmerie training facility. That sounds pretty interesting.
That's pretty cool.
I'll be curious to see what comes of that.
Yeah.
Good luck, Ben. A few more to get through, and now we're on double time because.
I know.
But let's get through the best ones. Fabian. Friend of the show. He's been on the show before.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with finding Paris-Brest.
I feel like that was on his list last time.
He's written aims to have one each month from a reputable patisserie chef and decide which one was the best.
This is maybe another recap you'll have to have.
How is he going to do 12? That means if he has one each month, he can't win.
If he does it on the 1st of the month of December and no one else has beat him by then, but let's be serious, Oliver, we're going to be done by then.
Visit the catacombs. I can hook you up there, Fabian.
I'm so scared of doing that.
Go to 5 music gigs. What's
I don't feel like that's Paris specific. But his last one is cool. He wants to have tea at Le Maurice.
Good idea.
It's a good one.
Could be expensive. Fab. Aga, also fairly new to Paris.
She's got some good ones.
She wants to go to Parc Astérix, the Dali Museum, the Orangerie,
Catacombs,
and I thought this one was quite sweet. learn how to ride a scooter and do a round around the Arc de Triomphe.
That was a good one. Yeah.
It's not easy.
You gonna help her?
No, fabulous. What strikes you as good on Hannah's list?
Hannah's list. Well, a couple of the ones on Hannah's list. She put Visit Versailles in the spring and summer, which I'm surprised she hasn't done yet.
She also put afternoon tea with Fab at Le Maurice.
Well, there's a few people that piggybacked on others' lists. Did you see that Aga put the Dali Museum replaceable with Join Sam's Fancy Boat Trip? That was one of my favorite notes. Yeah. I have never heard of the Giraffe restaurant.
It's new.
So, yeah.
That could be cool.
That was interesting.
I see Mike, another friend of the show. Yep. Everyone's a friend of the show. Who am I kidding?
Yeah, we're all friends of the show. Who's not a friend of the show?
He wants to go to a ballet.
I thought that was cool.
That's a good one.
I can't remember. Actually, I think he came to... Did he come to the opera? I can't remember, but maybe he wasn't scarred enough last time if he didn't.
He's put drink a mint tea at the Grand
I
Mosquée.
almost put the Grand Mosque on mine as well. I want to go too.
Everyone says how nice that is.
We'll have to get in on that.
Yep. And then for 5, he put Paris Marathon.
I was kind of like, don't you have to qualify for that?
He's crazy.
That's a good one. I think so Nico's list is next.
So Nico was on the show recently.
His are great.
He's also a new dad in Paris. So he was on talking about being a dad with me. And
this is a great one.
I like his choice of language. Spend one night at a fancy hotel, in brackets, like fancy.
Yeah.
Have lunch or dinner at a Michelin restaurant.
He's reaching high here.
Yeah, and they're number 2 and 3.
Yeah. I liked this one, skateboard at République with all the cool kids. That was a good one. There are a lot of skateboarders at République. Yeah.
I wonder if he can skate.
I don't know.
And lastly, it's a good one for all you guys thinking to visit Paris, looking for something to do. He put Visit Musée Carnavalet. It's a museum on Paris history that's been closed for refurbishment since 2016. I was there. A story I don't think I've told yet. Before it opened, on one of Otis was due to be born.
Yeah.
And I had this cool invite, and I was like, Lena, I think I'm going to go, but,
please don't have the baby today.
Hold off half an hour. And I went there, and I said to the guys, I might be having my son now. He's like, you must really care for this museum. I was like, I don't even know. But I went in. There's a story I want to tell properly on the show one day, but I went in there, and there was this really slow, boring tour in French.
Oh, no.
I left, and I went off by myself and had the entire museum to myself.
Amazing.
The whole place. It was incredible. Except I was a bit preoccupied. But good one, Nico.
Yeah.
And then we're going to finish
I would like to go back there. That's been renovated, yeah.
Yeah, you went there before?
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear what you think when you make it back. Let's finish on Alex's list.
Let's do it.
She got a bunch of sort of famous things.
Yep.
But one that's interesting is go dancing at Le Caveau de la Huchette.
Yeah, I've heard of this place.
Have you seen the movie La La Land?
I have. Is that the one that's in there?
Well, they go to a jazz club in Paris. Yeah. It's not in the movie, it's not that, but that's where they filmed it. So it's right near Shakespeare and Company on that tiny little street.
That's how I've heard. That's how I've heard.
I didn't know that you could dance in there, but
I didn't know either. But maybe it's a thing.
I want to go there too. Alex, if you're listening, I will join you.
Maybe you should. Have you done an episode on jazz clubs?
No, I've done an episode on jazz, but not on jazz clubs.
Places to go jazz.
I think Alex's mum might be listening in Australia. So hello, Mary, I believe.
Hi.
Hey, Mary. I think she's listening.
G'day. Should we say that?
G'day,
Is that
mate.
appropriate? I don't know.
And then Alex has put try one new restaurant or bar every month. Very vague, but that's going to keep you going to December.
Again, this is not a good strategy to win, but also a really good way to do something you want to do in Paris.
It's also a way of saying I couldn't think of something, so I just put 12.
I'm going to do 12 things instead of 5.
A shout out to Clovis, another friend of the show who submitted his list late and so didn't get onto the printout.
Oh.
I'm not going to read it.
No?
You have to be punished if you don't send in.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I can add it to the blog posts. But
You're so tough.
We've run out of time, Shelly.
Okay.
I want your thought as a final thought.
Ooh, closing thought.
Besides you and me,
thought. Yeah.
Whose list stood out for you? Whether you think they're going to win or you just think they chose some good things.
Is it so? Are we doing standing out in that I want to do all the things on their list?
Yeah. Who came up with a good list?
Gosh, don't make me. You're making like it's like picking your favorite child. These are all of my best friends.
I'm interested in Sam's. I want to see Sam get on that.
I want to see Sam do all the things on his list.
And he had some other kind of.
I want to see Sam do the tourist train. I like the people's list that I would want to do. Mm-hmm. I kind of want to do all the things on your list, except I don't really know how to play chess, which is also something I want to learn how to do. I think I don't know. I think everybody has a lot of cute things on their list. I'm not going to pick a favorite.
Fair enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to
pick favorite things.
Out of those, well, these are a few of my favorites. I'm going to pick about the top 40 or 50 things from this 3 pages and make a blog post that everyone listening can go check out. See how many you've done, see how many you want to do. And if you've listened this far, I highly encourage you. I'm going to put a picture on Instagram and Facebook. Leave a comment with your own list.
Yeah, do a list in your own place, either in Paris or your own place.
Yeah, share the
Make
one
your
for
friends
your
do
own
bucket
place.
lists. Ollie does it.
Yeah, force them. It takes a little bit of forcing, but it's worth it in the end.
But it's really good.
Shelly, best of luck to you with your easy lists.
You know you don't say best of luck in France. You say bon courage. I don't need luck, I need courage.
Yeah, and you don't say bonne chance.
Exactly.
People do say that, and
bon
people
courage.
will correct you. Courage, bon courage. So, bon courage for your
you too.
5.
May the best man win. Were you going to say this?
May the best competitor win.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
All right.
I'm looking forward to it. So, Shelly, thanks for being on the show. Thank you for your long-time support of the Earful Tower.
Yeah.
You've always been there for me, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And
friends.
May the best competitor win.
On y va.
On y va! So there you have it, guys. The bucket list. Go and check theearfultower.com for, as I said, sort of the best of all of our suggestions. And you can tick it off, see how many you've done. I'm intrigued to see if any of you have done them all. I asked Patreon members to send in their own bucket lists way ahead of this, so I might be doing a little bit more with that. But watch this space. Let's see what the reaction to this episode is. But speaking of reactions to episodes, I was flabbergasted to see the amount of comments, emails, and the sheer number of downloads for the episode with my dad last week. It was the most downloaded day in Earful Tower history. And so, I called him up. I was like, we need more, Dad. What have you got? And he sent over a bunch of pictures. So if you're not following the blog, Instagram, Facebook, go and check that out because it'll give you a way deeper dive into his journey, including a map of his overland trip. If this was your first episode you listened to today and you got no idea what I'm talking about, listen to last week's episode. I think you're going to like it. Let's finish on an email from a Patreon member called Prez Maxon. And funnily enough, so I started a TikTok account. It must have been 6 months ago when I interviewed Monica de la Villadière. We talked about TikTok. I started an account. I never really used it, but I sort of was in there scrolling the other day and I saw this guy Prez pop up, and I started chatting with him because I recognized his name from Patreon. Lo and behold, he sends in some Gmail right after, and I'm going to read it to you. He says, "Hey Oliver, and hello Lena and Otis. Just thought I'd drop a note to say how much I enjoy the show, in particular as I listened back to the last few weeks that I missed over the holiday break. I enjoyed the Hidden Bar episode. It, like so many before, has that blend of information and imagination, a signature of your show, in my opinion, where curiosity and what if meets discovery and reality." Whoa, that's a good slogan. I should use that. Prez, thank you. He continues, "I think it's why I love Paris, for the fictional parts as much as the real parts. Like you, I love wandering through neighborhoods, imagining what could be behind ornate doors and down alleys where I've never walked. Me too. The great thing about what your show does for Paris is that it thrives on that imagination, that curiosity, brings it to life, and oftentimes reveals a reality that is just as magical as our imaginations. Great storytelling. Thanks for bringing it to us every week," he said. Yeah, you write very nicely, Prez, I must say. I'm getting caught up in the magic of your email. But it's true, even this episode was kind of about the things we haven't done, the mystery, the intrigue of what lies out there. Prez continues, "On another note, I became a big Slim and the Beast fan thanks to you. It's a bucket list event now for me to see them live in Paris someday after they're a staple in the soundtrack of my 2021. And set the great jams aside, I love that they're writers, artists, as well as musicians. I can relate. They got a fan for life thanks to the Earful Tower." I actually screenshotted that part of your email and I sent it to Aaron from Slim and the Beast, who I caught up with the other day. He was very touched. And he continues, Prez, he says, "A question for you, Oliver. Are you musical? Is Lena? And if you could pick an instrument for Otis to learn one day, what would it be?" I'll get back to that in a sec. He says also, "Show idea. I think you should try and find the oldest living prison resident to interview. That would be wild. It's a good idea. Thanks for all the great hours. Looking forward to seeing what 2022 has in store. Best, Prez Maxon, big fan. Thanks, Prez. Also, I hope it's not Press, and I've been saying it wrong. Prez feels right. What a lovely email to answer your question, and everybody else love when you guys send in questions at the end of an email. I don't really play an instrument, although I can kind of play the guitar, and like I know the main chords and I can strum along. But at one point, when I was sort of learning it when I was younger, I tried to see if I could sing at the same time and play. Just couldn't do it, no matter how hard I tried. And I was like, well, never going to be a singer-songwriter, which would probably have been the dream. So I gave it up. And whenever I see guitar, I like to have a little bit of a strum, but no real talent there, I'm afraid. And Lena's dad, who's very musical, tried to teach me the double bass that he plays. And I don't know, I found that very difficult. Weak fingers. I think I've got weak fingers. But Lena, oh my gosh, Lena. If you give her a harmonica, she can play the same, 8 notes in a row so perfectly that you'd be begging for more. But just don't give her the harmonica when I'm around, because I've heard it too many times. As for the last part of your question, what would I like Otis to learn? I'd say piano or guitar would be amazing. I'm always a huge fan of people that can play the piano very well. And Prez, I know you can play a lot of instruments looking at your TikTok account. Anyway, that is enough for today. Thanks to everybody who's listened for so long. Don't forget, if you become a Patreon supporter, you can watch the video that I did from last week. That's a clue for an upcoming episode. I also talked to Alex about being an artist in Paris. But for now, I'm really intrigued in everybody else's bucket list. Let's see if you want to join this game, whether in Paris or around the world. I'm looking forward to reading your comments on social media. I've enjoyed this episode. I hope you have too. I'll be back again with another new, fresh episode next week. And I'll see you then. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.